It's a dairy farmer's tower site. It is a little bit slow this one, but once the podium's done, it'll pick up. Trying to get out of the wind. They've replaced the boom on the crane. I'll get another bit of footage from a different angle and show you that. We have a builder's hoist. Oh, looks like a twin one. Well, I'm going to get a different angle. Here's a different shot. Crane boom's been replaced. You can have a bit of impact on the skyline in this western part once these two twins are up, as well as the store residence, which is just over there. Well, I'm going to move on to the next job at the store residence in Newcastle. Sorry about the glare. I'll see if I can get a better shot in a different location, but yeah, the facade's starting to go on, which you could see in the last video. When I got off the train, that one is level 10 at the bottom of the core box, and that one was level 13, I think. 13 I think it was, in the core box. So they're almost halfway. Well, that one's only a third of the way, and that one's just under halfway. I'll change locations. Here's another angle. I don't think the cranes have climbed. They've got their climbing frames on, but they haven't actually. I don't think they've actually climbed. I'm pretty certain they haven't. There's no concrete pumping happening today. There's the Cambridge site. They probably could have stayed open a bit longer. Well, once they closed the developers that had that owned that site, I think they might have went broke or something, or they pulled the pin on the project. GWH have that site now. It's been closed for over 12 months. I think it closed actually nearly, where was it, nearly 2 years ago, I think. Well, I'm going to move on to the next job. Here's another vantage point. Excuse me. Bit easy to see from this angle. Didn't realise that I could get this shot. This tree's blocking the sun, which is good. So I've got one level on the facade on that one, and nearly 4 on that one. It's going to be nice to live in there. A bit expensive though. Especially with, I wonder what the body corporate would be like in there, considering that they're going to have pools and the rooftop deck, the rooftop garden's going to be huge. If the rooftop's actually going to be on the parking structure, the existing parking structure that's tucked in behind it. Oh, there's the military police there. Oh well, I'm going to move on to the next job. This one will be, so I did have 2 shots of this, and then I figured I'd get the third because of the sun, so I didn't realise I was going to get this one, so this will be the first job. Just a quick one of the one apartments. pretty much almost done. I reckon just a bit of landscaping and stuff to do by the looks of it. And that's, yeah, pretty much about it. There's a bit of landscaping happening up there on the podium. Yeah, so they're pumping soil or something up, or bark or whatever. You see the hose there for it, connected into the truck. Sorry about the wind. Well, I'm going to move on to the next job, the watervue site. I've got a core rising, obviously. No floor plates are started yet. Looks like they're starting on them now, actually. No basement on this one. It's like it's so parking will be inside a podium on the bottom few levels. Seem to be doing that a lot now, like no basements. I think it depends on the developer, actually. I suppose the cost to excavate is quite high. And then you've got to have somewhere to put all the earth that you dig out. Well, there's not much happening on, well, there is, but not much to really see from any other angles on this one. I'll move on to the next. The Era site. We've got, try and get another angle from the other end. Got a bit of an excavation happening. Sorry about the fence. And they put like a cut a trench into the ground, a real deep trench, and they've filled it with concrete and put some steel in it. And then over towards the back, I suppose there's already a wall underground on that corner, on that end, because there's a basement under the building next to it, so they'll just dig down beside that. I don't know whether they'll remove some of the wall and link the whole basement into one, or because there is a basement there on the building next door. It's all part of the same site. I'll try and get a different angle. Here's another angle a bit further up. Got a crane. There's that's got a trench cutter on it. I'll see if I can get an angle. Don't know how good that was. I should have had my stick to get a better angle. I used to have a stick that used to plug into the phone. I used to use a GoPro actually, but I haven't used that for a while. I may go back to it, but I haven't really been bothered. I'll get a bit of a shot further up with the cutter head. That's what the cutter head looks like. So there was the wheels just spin, and then they gets pushed into the ground. And then as it, I think it and then as it gets pulled out, they fill it with concrete. They pump concrete into it, and then moves on to the next, moves over. I don't know if it, I think it, yeah, so it has to lift out before it cuts another trench, I think. Well, obviously it has to, because it hasn't got cutter heads up the sides of it. So I think that made sense. I'll move on to the next spot. I'll get another angle from the other end if I can. I'll get some footage from here as well. I've got a bit of a shake, so my back's starting to hurt a little bit. So that's a better view of the cutter head. It's pretty cool. Oh no, there is gaps between each one. Oh, the gaps maybe. Oh no, I see what they can do. So when they move over, they obviously cut one. They do a cut and then they move over and leave the gap between. So when the concrete on either side, on the cuts either side dries, I assume they push down in between for the next cut. I don't know what the idea of the steel beams is, why they've pushed them in. I'm not sure. On that crane, I wonder what those, they look like hydraulic rams in the middle. I wonder what they're for. Maybe they're, oh I know what they're for. Maybe they are used when they take the tracks off. They can be used to take the tracks off and it lifts the whole unit up. Obviously for transportation it's too wide. I'll see if I can get, so there's, you can see a bit of a dig over there. I'll see if I can get some more footage at the end. If not, that'll be it for this job. It's really the best shot of the end. I've got an excavator at this end. Well, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm going to move on to the next job. This is the Sovereign Park site. I think this is called The Hill. I think I have done some footage here before. Just trying to catch my breath. It's a bit hard to get up here. We have a crane up. I don't know if the crane will need to go any taller though. It's a funny looking crane actually. It just looks weird. Maybe because it's not, doesn't look very old or it's been refurbished. It doesn't have a very long boom on it either, but I think the back of the site's going to be like a townhouse style development. So I don't think that they're going to really need, I don't know if they know if they'll put another crane up, whether it'll have two. I'm not sure. Don't know how often I'll do this update on this one, but seeing as it's got a crane, I might do it a bit more often with when I do the rest of the Newcastle or the CBD. I don't really do the whole of Newcastle, but I don't do Charlestown. There's a few other spots that I probably could do, but I don't. There's not much happening at Charlestown at the moment anyway. The projects that were under construction have pretty much wrapped up now. And there was a couple at Adamstown, but they've finished, wrapped up too now. They had cranes on them. There was one at Georgetown, I think, had a crane up. That's gone. That's long finished. I can't remember how tall these ones are going to be. I don't think they're any taller than 10 stories. Obviously they're going to look a lot taller from the street down there. I was down on that street, but it was a bit hard. The fence sort of blocks everything. They're still doing a bit of excavation over there, so I wonder if they will put another crane up. One over towards the back there for, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Down there, I thought, nah. But nah. Thought that was a crane base down there, but it's a bit too close, that one. A bit windy up here too. Sorry about the wind. I might have to go, if it's too bad, I might have to start going back to the GoPro, because at least that has a windsock on it. Well, I'm going to move on to the next one. Newcastle East End development. Put the steel structure up. So the steel structure's there in place to hold the facade while they build the building behind it. So I think that wall's going. all the gut, it's all getting stripped out inside, obviously, but yeah. So pedestrian access will go through there when they open it up. It's like they've formed a concrete wall, I suppose, just to give it a bit of extra weight and support on the bottom to hold the facade. Sorry about the wind, I don't know how bad the wind is, but I can feel it. I'll try and get some from the other end. Here's a different angle. I'll get another angle a bit further up as well, so they're starting to do that strip out on that building. And we've got the steel structure up on this one, up each side, on the front. They've still got to join it to the building yet. I'll move up a bit further. Here's the final angle of this one. So the three facades are getting kept of the three buildings. Up either side of that one up the side, and the front of this one. I've noticed that they've put steel beams on the inside. Obviously they bolt them together through the wall to the front. Pretty interesting how they do it. They've got one sticking out of the roof up there too. Oh, there's a few up that side actually. You see they've done the formwork for the concrete wall, temporary wall. I don't know how many cranes I have on this side, but they'll have probably maybe 2 or 3 when construction is fully ramped up. Stage 1 had a fair few. I didn't get stage 1 because it was built before I moved here, or moved down this way. I'll move on to the next job. A bit of some footage of this job on Wharf Road. Got the harbour right there, Newcastle Harbour. I think there's apartments going here from memory. Two excavators, an excavator in there with a big claw. That's just got a grab on it. And sorting out his scrap metal. Got a machine over there for dust control. I'm going to try and get some footage from over there as well if I can. I'll move over there, over to the end there and get some footage. Here's another angle. I'm not going to lie, it's pretty fucking dusty. I've got dust in my eyes. There's still some of the glass facade there too. Well, it's just like that. It just looked like that building actually. Probably built at the same time. Probably the same builders did both. You can see a bit of the glass there on that one still. So yeah. I'm going to move on to the next job. It's really dusty. There's not much else on this one. I'll get this as a third angle. This is what it used to look like because they haven't actually touched this side with the demolition. They'll probably pull, as they pull the building down, they'll probably pull everything back towards inside of in the site because it's pretty close to the boundary. So it is exactly like that building, the one that's next door. That's still got tenants in it. That's not going anywhere. That's just a little bit taller though than this one. Well, I'm going to move on. I think the last one's a uni site. I think that's it. I'll see you on that last site. This is the uni site. Not much to see really. foundation gear's gone. Put the piers in. I'm not sure what sort of excavation's happening on this site because there's actually no parking. So it's a student accommodation for the uni, but I don't know if there's any parking. I don't think there is. So they just park in the street. I'm actually against developments having minimal parking. Right. Residential should have at least a spot. If you've got a 3-bedroom unit, you need at least 2, maybe 2.5 spots, you know. 3 spots really. You need really a spot for each bedroom. The cost of property now is you have to share with someone, and and they're most likely going to have a car. So each room really needs its own car spot, really. But that's an argument for another day. Well, there's not too much to say on this one. I think that's it for this video. There's a few other little sites here and there that there's nothing happening on. The chapter apartments are nearly done. Probably take another video of that next time I'm here in Newey. There's a few other empty sites on Hunter Street, and there's over near Denison Street, I think. Denison Street. The wind's just picked up now, bloody hell. So there's a couple of sites over there. There's nothing happening on those yet. There's plans in place for those. I'm going to wrap this video up here. This is another demo site that I've come across in Hunter Street. I didn't know that they'd already started demolishing this. So I'll try and get some footage out the back. Yeah, I didn't really know. Yeah, so that's a family relationship centre. We're about, yeah, so it's an empty block next door. I'll go around the back and have a bit of a look. This is the back end of that site. It's on Hunter Street. I didn't even know this was getting demolished. I knew that there was that there's a DA in, but I didn't realise that they had already started demolition. I swear, yeah, they've done it pretty quick actually. I was only here I think when I did the last, I don't remember seeing it the last time I was here. It is more apartments than I think. These 2 towers winched because they are getting sandwiched between, but no one owns a view. That's the trouble when you buy an apartment. I know you pay top dollar to have views, but no view is actually owned, so they don't really have a say in what happens. I know it sounds harsh, but that's a fact. You can't expect to have your view forever, you know. Places have to evolve and change. So and anyway, when you guys had your building put in, you blocked somebody else's view, so it's just a vicious cycle. If you don't like it, move to a beachfront location where the only thing that's in front of you is the beach, where you won't have your view built out on. So there's a Sky residence, I think that's a Sky residence. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here, guys.